Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another podcast episode. My name is Alicia Gogan, the host of the Globe Seekers podcast, where I help you expand your mind and become more self-aware so that you can glow up into the best version of yourself. I am praying that the way you are hearing this audio right now is through my mic and not from my camera. Guys, sorry last week if you guys didn't tell. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you just didn't care. The audio, I don't know why, didn't record on my microphone. So it wasn't the worst audio ever. Honestly, it just was my YouTube audio, but there's something, it hits different when I'm uploading a podcast episode and it's a YouTube quality like audio. So anyways, that really irritated me when I went back and I started editing. I was like, why did this not record? So I'm really hoping that you guys hear the proper audio today. But thank you if you did listen all the way through last week's episode. It wasn't the worst audio. It was normal audio, but I get that can be annoying. But nevertheless, thank you for listening if you did. And thank you for bringing me to 100 episodes of the podcast. This is the 100th episode. I can't even believe it. I started my podcast January of 2021 or 2. Sorry. I literally just had this on here and I looked. Okay. January of 2022. I should know this, but I obviously don't. Anyways, so we're coming up to 2 years. So we're definitely going to have to rehash this celebration at the 2-year mark, but hitting 100 episodes, that is a commitment. I did this 100 times. I know that there was a few episodes that I think there's like 2 or 3 out of the almost 2 years that I had to skip and not post anything on Thursdays because I was sick. But honestly, I have been consistent at this for 100 episodes. That's fantastic. Love that for me. And I love that for us. And we have grown so much. And I know for podcasts, you can't really see how many people are listening to the podcast, like how many downloads I'm getting because it's all the back end stuff. Although now when you watch on YouTube, obviously you can see how many views that I'm getting, which my channel on YouTube is growing too, which is so amazing. I love that for us. That was my goal this year, was to start putting my visuals onto YouTube so you guys could see me if you want, and then also create something that's a little bit more aesthetically pleasing, which by the way, I ordered so many things for the office. I'm waiting on like 2 more things and then I'm going to be recording in that office. Okay. So it's coming. I pushed myself to do it. I cannot wait. There's so many more things that I want to do with this podcast, obviously. But yeah, just thank you guys so much for sitting and listening to me. And there's some of you who comment and they're like, you're just like, I've been listening to you since day one, which is unreal that you've been listening to my voice every week for that long. But thank you so much for being here with me. So this week's episode, I want to talk about the realities of building your dream life, the realities of working towards your dream life, the realities of making money online, the realities of finding your purpose and your passion in life. There's just a few things that have happened, or not really happened, but there has been certain questions that have been, somebody have asked me throughout the past like weeks or so that kind of like sparked this idea of me wanting to talk about this further. And we have been talking about more like the reality of being a content creator and, like making money online, things like that. But this is going to kind of be like just outside of even just being a content creator, because I know not all of you guys want to be a content creator. And I want to quickly like say one thing as to why I also wanted to talk about this specifically. But the reason that I'm like holding on talking about this right this second is because I just want to quickly talk about where we're going to be going for some of the episodes to come, honestly, into like the new year. So this October, I definitely wanted to talk more about like the finances, the career, things like that. We've talked a lot about it. You guys have asked a lot of questions. And going on to November and December for the Thursday episodes, I already have everything planned out essentially. I want to touch a lot on health and wellness. You guys have a lot of questions about, healing your relationships with food, with fitness, habits, getting back on your self-care, glowing up into the best version of yourself physically. We've talked a lot about the mental for sure. We always talk about the mental glow up essentially on this podcast and like learning and teaching and stuff like that. But I think just naturally as we come in to ourselves more in this year, we kind of want to, okay, like how can I get better at going to the gym and taking care of myself or eating better, like things like that. You guys are always asking me my tips, what I am doing, all that kind of stuff. So I have lots of glow up, health and wellness, all that good stuff, specifically, especially for during the winter to come. So just kind of know that that's where the content will be going. Lots of health and wellness talk in the next Thursday episodes. And on top of that, you will be hearing me weave in a lot of information regarding my book. And my book is going to be coming out in January. So there's a lot of marketing going on in the back end. And I think that it would make a lot of sense to also talk about health and wellness, because my book is heavily, bringing you through that journey that I went through, wanting to glow up into the best version of myself and really struggling and falling into these self-sabotaging behaviors with my physical health and even my mental health. So I definitely want to just really open up those conversations regarding health and wellness. So definitely make sure to follow the podcast Instagram, the Glow Up Secrets podcast, because I'll be asking a lot of Q&As and things like that for the episodes to come. And when I mean the episodes, I mean the Thursday episodes. We will continue to do the Monday episodes. You guys have really been liking them. The off-topic episodes where I just talk about random things. I really love that you guys love those episodes. And I think that it just helps me as a creator be able to not always talk about just teaching moments or self-development things, which I love doing. That is my passion, my purpose. This is what I do for my job. But obviously there's times where I kind of just want to not. And I also think as a listener, for me personally, when I listen to other people's podcasts, or sometimes I just want to kind of listen to something that's not going to make me feel like I need to change my whole entire life and heal everything. Because sometimes you just don't need to heal things. So anyways, that's what's going to be happening in the episodes to come. Of course, you can comment on Spotify and let me know what you want to hear next on the episodes. Also, if you want, or if you could, please leave me a review. I mentioned this before. We got to get this podcast big, girlies. We're going on I guess it'll be, year 2 to 3 next year. And we need to get this podcast rolling. Okay. And so it would be amazing if you guys could give me a star review, 5 preferably. But the reason why I'm saying stars is you don't have to write a little comment if you don't want to, but I do see them. If you write anything, I do see them. So thank you so much for everyone who has done that, rated the show. I really appreciate it. It really helps. And of course, if you're just listening on YouTube, you can always let me know, obviously whatever you like, but anything that you want to hear from me in the next, coming October, well, not October. What am I talking about? November and December. I cannot believe we're almost in November, but you know what? We're going to stop the chatting because this will be for the off-topic episode. All right. So yeah, let's talk about the realities of building your dream life. So, okay. 2 things that kind of triggered this. So 1, I was on my friend Tessa's podcast, the Busy Blooming podcast, which that episode will come out. When is this going to come out? This is going to come out on Thursday. So on Monday, the following this week or this day, whatever, you will see it. And I'll post it where you guys can see it as well, or listen to it and watch it because we recorded. But she was asking me, this episode was definitely pertaining to the realities of being a content creator. And so she was asking me what are some misconceptions that you think people have in regards to being a content creator and essentially just making a living online. And there's a few, but one of them that I said was, it's hard work and the work doesn't stop once you, let's say you have decided you get to leave your job and you're making a certain amount of money, and then you can sustain the money that, sustain the life that you're living based off of the income that you make online. And so you can even take out being a content creator, anything, people make money online doing millions of different things. You don't have to necessarily be a content creator. But I feel like some people just think that once you kind of can leave that corporate setting or whatever you wanted to leave, and you kind of work from home or whatever you want to do, that the work kind of just stops and all this money is here and you get to live your lavish lifestyle or whatever lifestyle that you want that you see on social media, and that's that. And it does not stop. This does not mean that I operate and work the same way that I used to back in the day, because I don't trade all of my time for money the way that I used to, but I still work. And it's still I'm still putting in the work. I'm still building my podcast. I'm still building my YouTube. I'm still navigating, showing up as a certain way and finding my purpose and finding my passions and building a community. These things take time. And even when it comes to if we're talking about money, as a content creator, I'm just going to use being a content creator as an example, but you can really use this with anything. If you just go online and you start posting about this brand that you really like and you want to make money off of this brand, if you have no community and no following, you're most likely not going to just sell a bunch of this like one product or whatever it is that you're sharing. Or let's say you have an affiliate link, you like sign up on Amazon Influencer or whatever, and you have this link, and like, you know, somebody told you, oh, you can make a bunch of money doing affiliate links or working with brands, like all that kind of stuff that you hear. This is not to mean that you can't do it, but people are sold a lot of lies online. And I fell into this trap even outside of content creation. So this is the next thing that I was going to say is, and I was thinking about this, and I really do think that I might lose viewers when I say this, and then that's just what it's going to be. And I'm really going to try and not be like rude. I don't want to be ever rude, but I think about this when it comes to the MLM community. Okay. The pyramid scheme things that go on. You know, the people who say you can make money online, you can sell this one product and you can make this much money, or even any get rich quick scheme, anything where it's like, I make $2,000 a day selling Amazon seller products and this, that. I fell into all those traps when I was broke, when I was trying to make money, and when I was living in this excessive need of like instant gratification. And it wasn't helpful that I was like always on social media because I saw everyone living their lives. So I just like wanted everything now. So then I fell into these like scarcity types of ways in which you can kind of make money. I always would fall into these things. And it's really sad because you're never really in a good financial situation when you fall into these little get rich quick scheme things. And people are really good at selling you this lie essentially, that you can like make all this money in such a short amount of time and blah, 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 blah. And then you end up usually wasting your time and wasting a lot of your money. And then you keep going back into these cycles and you're kind of further away from what you actually could do, which maybe hone in on your skills and your purpose and like create a whole thing outside of like making money off the backs of other people, all that kind of stuff. I fell into that and I spent a lot of money. I remember one time I spent probably $5,000 to $7,000 trying to do Amazon seller. I don't even know what it was called back then. It was a while ago, really, really long time ago, maybe in like 2018, I think, where they were like telling you like, we'll take you through how you can like buy a product for cheap from like Alibaba or like AliExpress, and then you private label it or you white label. I think it's called private label, where you buy it. This is what stores do, by the way. It's not illegal. And you buy that product, and then, you know, you obviously get a bunch of different tests and samples and all of these different things to see like which, because listen, when you have one product, like if you go look on AliExpress, there'll be the same version, like different little tiny versions, but of the same product. Like let's say a water bottle. You could have the exact same water bottle, and you can only see this on YouTube, but like this water bottle here, you could find the exact same one, the same shade, the same everything, but maybe like, I don't know, the quality of the plastic is a little bit different and maybe it's more expensive or less expensive, whatever. Anyways, what brands will do is they'll go on there and they'll source a product and then they'll put their label on it and then they will sell it. And that's not illegal, by the way. You can do that. That's what your Amazon products, that's what happens when you go on Amazon. That's what people are doing. They go to something cheap, they go to a manufacturer, they get it made, and then they upsell it, whatever. But they were teaching you how to do that, and then you kind of like also learn how to put the product on Amazon and search for products that would be highly sellable, and, you know, like finding products that wouldn't sell and all this kind of stuff. But it was so incredibly stressful to the point where I did everything to a T, but I was like, the more money I put into this, because you have to spend your money to buy these like products, to put your label on it and then to sell it, and hopefully that you'll get money. And this is what I'm going to say. I'm not going to say a limiting belief of like, you can never make money in any industry, because you really can, right? To each their own and how you're going to make that money. But obviously everyone can make money in every single thing. But like, for me personally, I started to realize this is stressing me out. I don't even want to do this. I don't even want to sell this random thing that I'm trying to sell. Like, what am I doing? I'm trying to make money, which is understandable. But it's like, can I find a different way to make money? Because this is another thing. I was sold. The reason why I did this specifically was I was sold this huge dream of, you can make like 5, 10, 15K, 20K months selling this product, where as soon as you like do it and you put it on Amazon, then it's kind of like passive. It's passive income. You hear it all the time. Passive income this and passive income that and this, that, and the third. People do not understand. Ain't nothing really that passive, especially nowadays. And not only that, if you want to have like passive income, you got to put in the fucking work, okay? Like like, I cannot, when I see these people who are talking about, you can work from home, you have all these things, and all you have to do is like talk about your favorite products or this, that, and the third. It is so much harder than you even actually think. And for many reasons, when we're talking about like the MLM space, there's only so many people you can sell that product to. And the way you make money is not selling the product. The way you make money is signing people up under you so that they can sign other people up under them. And then that's how the money funnels to the top. And then you're kind of like left, whatever. If you want to know more about MLMs, I would highly suggest go watch Deanna Mims on YouTube, Isabella Lanter, Cece Suarez. I'm not going to get into it. And also, if you are in an MLM, I'm really sorry. I just don't believe in that. I have done extensive research on MLMs, pyramid schemes in all types of industries, all those even money scams and stuff like that. I don't screw with it. I think that you can find way better ways, way smarter ways to make money online if you want, but I get why people fall into it. It's scarcity. You want to make money, this, that. But the reason why I was bringing that up is because I feel like when you're susceptible to these like make money like really quick and whatever, if it's honestly sounds a little bit too good to be true, it probably is. And again, I don't want to make this limiting belief like it's going to be so hard for you to ever make money, or it's going to be so hard to build your dream life or find your passion, your purpose, and your favorite job online and like make all this. It really actually can totally not. But I just think if you're like, only doing that because you're out of scarcity and you're picking up the Amazon seller thing just because like you just want 20K months, is not necessarily to say that's a bad thing to do, but it's just like, don't burn yourself out of doing it if you really don't want to do it, right? But the main reason why I'm saying that is because I just feel like when I think about the old version of me before really even understanding content creation, or again, outside of making content, just like even being a business owner online and making money online, there's so many other ways that you can do that instead of like falling into these schemes and these scams. And I think that I was really undervaluing and underestimating the power of my own personal talents and skills that I could have learned how to make money off of in so many ways online. I wish that I spent more time really diving into what do I want to talk about online if I want to talk about it online, or what do I want to create and sell to the world that is not like the only reason why I'm selling this is to make money, which is totally fine. We have to make money, but it's like, okay, why am I like picking some random like product and doing this Amazon seller thing, which I literally, it's making my brain hurt. I don't even want to do this, when actually, maybe if I had the passion to like paint or something, I could like sell prints on Etsy and I can learn how to do it that way. And like, I would feel fulfilled because I'm not only making money, but like also I'm doing something that I really like to do, things like that. But I think sometimes when you're in such scarcity and you're such in this energy of like, instant gratification, you kind of fall into those traps. So it's totally understandable if you've ever been through there. I have been through the same thing. And so, what changed for me when I realized, okay, this is not working. I'm not going to spend any more money falling into these scams. I also like did a lot of research on those things. And I said, oh, wow, no, this is not the way that I'm going to ever make money. And nor do I want to. I don't want to do this type of work. I really did have to get honest with myself though, in terms of the instant gratification and the time urgency that I was having when it came to building my dream life. Because when around 2018, like all I wanted was what everyone else had online. I would see that my favorite influencers, they just get to wake up in the morning, 5 a.m., like a morning routine, and they get all these supplements and like cool things, and they get to like go out to the city and just like live their best life, and they have all these clothes and all this money and this, that, and like I want that and this, that, and the third. And this is not to mean that you're a bad person because you want that. It doesn't mean that you don't deserve that. Absolutely not. But like what I had to be real is like, girl, okay, you can get that, but like, let's learn how to put in the work. Let's learn how to build something real, right? And let's be okay with it takes time, and I just want everything now, which kind of like made me fall into these unfortunate schemes sometimes. And bringing it back to what I was saying with Tess about how some people really don't understand just how long sometimes it takes to, let's say, make money online or like grow online. And it can easily fluctuate for everyone. But, when I was building my YouTube channel, it took I don't even know, maybe like I started filming consistently in April of 2022. And then by October of 2022, that's when I started making money. But before then, it was just me posting. Like it took a while before I could even make money and then leave my job. Or like, when people say like, oh, you could do like affiliate links and stuff, and like you can make money off of certain products that you love and share to your audience and stuff like that. And that's not a bad thing. But it's also like, that does take time though. And so I think like sometimes those MLM type of people, or like people who are saying like, oh, you can make money like selling a product, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, okay, the reason why I can make money on YouTube and I can make, let's say, money from my affiliate links, which is not even that much, or I can make money from brand deals, which is like my main income, or my podcast, like the ads that run, all that kind of stuff, is because I put in the work for, I would say like a solid year without seeing any money before I was able to actually do that. And the reason why I'm able to get the brand deals and I'm making money is because I built an audience where I gave them value for free consistently, and I put in that work, and then I got rewarded. This is not to mean that you should like get into a job where you're not getting paid for like a year, or like, you know, burn yourself out and put all of this free information online, like do all these things and like not get paid for it. But there is this level of like, you're gonna have to put in this work. It's not gonna be overnight like, oh, well, you know, I could just like be an influencer, or I could just like sell print on Etsy, or I could just create a course and start selling it, or I can do one-on-one coaching. Yes, you can do that. You can do anything online, which is so beautiful and so amazing. But the reason why people can make, and I'm talking about the people who are like building real businesses, whether that be like you're being a content creator, you're a podcaster, or you have this product, or you have this shop, or, you know, maybe you're a lash tech, you're doing whatever, and you're using social media as that way. It takes a little bit for you to put yourself out there on social media or online for people to be able to like, know, and trust you, so that then you can then sell a product to them, or that, you know, they really want to buy something that you're wearing or that you recommend to them, or for brands to be like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to put money into her because her audience really believes in her. And if she's using this product and her audience really likes her, then obviously they might buy, or maybe they don't buy, but still like they're supporting in some way. Like, those are things you have to really think about. And I think that's something actually that people struggle with when it comes to building their dream life, especially when you're talking about online, like making money online, which when I mean building your dream life, there could be different aspects, obviously, of building your dream life. But I think that a lot of us, like, we're trying to have more time freedom, and we're trying to make money, and we're trying to like live our best lives, obviously. So you really do have to think about like how you're going to make money. But some people really struggle with essentially doing free work. I remember my one friend, who is, funny enough, a content creator now, and she's fucking killing it. She, at the beginning, she was like struggling because when she would post TikToks, she's like, well, like, I'm not getting paid for it. So I'm stressing because like I'm putting all this work in, and I don't even know if I'm going to be rewarded for it, which that is going to be the risk of you building your dream life. And, you know, I think it's honestly pretty low risk if you do it the right way and you work smarter, not harder, and you don't like, obviously you need to learn when to pivot and when to know when your shit is not working, and you need to educate yourself and, you know, make sure that you're like, you know, not push, like, you're not like posting for like 3 years on YouTube and it's like the worst quality stuff ever, and you haven't ever like learned how to edit properly, things like that, which I feel like as long as you're adaptable and you learn and you're willing to like change and evolve, it's not going to be like you working for years. But I think that people really struggle with, oh, well, I don't want to work. I don't really want to like put in all this work when I'm not seeing anything in return, which I totally get that, right? If you're talking about wanting to do something like full time, well, this is not going to support my bills or whatever because I'm not making any money. But that's when you want to, obviously, you got to grind. Like, this is another thing. There is a grind period when you are building your dream life. Why do we think that like, okay, when I'm 25 years old and whatever it is that I want to do, either online, offline, whatever, I'm just gonna like, now I'm gonna have all this money and I just, you know, show up to my work and like, you know, I create 2 pieces of content, or I create this Etsy shop online, or I start an Instagram for my business, whether that's like I'm doing lashes or nails, or, you know, I'm teaching people how to love themselves, or I'm selling a guide, or I'm doing one-on-one coaching. Why do we just think that we're just gonna like start that and like all the clients are gonna be here and all the money and all the brands are just gonna be like, here, take my money? Like, you do have to put in some sort of work. And that's something that I definitely knew going into having a career online, even when it comes to my podcast or my book or one-on-one coaching, guides, all of those things. When I had a vision of what it is that I wanted to start, I knew it was going to take some time. I wasn't like, okay, I'm going to start this podcast and like the next day, like I'm going to learn how to like make money because it's just going to make me all this money. Like obviously, eventually you want to learn how to make money, or you want to support yourself, but I knew it was going to take some time. I knew that it was going to take some growing. And with anything really, if you think about the exchange of money, you have to give something, money's not just going to come out of thin air. Now it's different. Sometimes, people think that you have to burn yourself out in order to make money. And that's not really true either, because I think making money online, another misconception that people have is, the way that they make money in real life, like 9 to 5, trading your time for money. It's much different online, because essentially you could obviously make money in your sleep, but also I could say one thing, but I'm essentially getting paid to talk to 1 million people. So the one thing that I'm saying is getting paid over and over and over and over and over again, because I have an audience, thank God, online, that it's spread to the masses. And that's the beauty and the insane beauty of being on the internet when it comes to anything, right? Even just like small businesses, brick and mortar businesses, they get so much more business by going on TikTok and sharing their beautiful restaurants, or, getting people to talk about it or share, or, you have this particular skill that you're showing to the world online, and you're using that free of charge, and you're getting people and you're following whatever, like you're finding this little groove that you have on TikTok, and you're sharing all this free information, and then eventually people love you and they want to hear more, and they want to know exactly how to do the thing that you've done. And then you have a little course that you sell, and then now everyone's buying it because you have this audience. And so anyways, I say that also because I just feel like a lot of you guys definitely do ask me a lot of questions regarding, finding something that you have like a passion for, or your skills or your talent, and like how to make that really a thing, and how to even make money off of that. And I think that we all do that. Like, I think we all want to make money doing what we love and living out our dream life, whatever that looks like. And living out your dream life does mean you have to obviously make money in doing something. And I think when it comes to maybe if you have been somebody who's maybe fallen into those traps of the scarcity, the schemes, the, doing things that are just not aligned because you're just trying to make money, whatever, tapping really into the mindset of like, things do take time, and that's totally fine. And also, putting in that work if you kind of already know what you want to do. And another thing I'll even say is like, I stripped my ego away from a lot of things. And I said, you know what, I'm going to bartend, and I'm going to learn how to make as much money as I can while I use my free time and build my social media until I can make money. And a lot of people don't want to do that. A lot of people want to have their weekends and just chill and do nothing. But I was like, no, I want this fucking life. And that means I'm going to have to work for it. So I'm going to give away my time right now so that eventually I can have more money. And I would highly suggest you do that, by the way, because you're just not going to, in my personal opinion, like be super successful if you are not willing to put in the work. But one thing I wanted to quickly talk about, and I have this in my notes, because some of you guys ask me and like struggle with, I don't know like what to talk about online. And I don't mean this even as a content creator, but like in talking about a dream job, essentially, even online. I don't know my skills. I don't know what to do, And I think the first thing is you need to know what your skills and your talents are, or what you're really passionate about. Now, I did talk about this in the ins and outs of becoming a content creator, so you can go back and listen to that episode. But I think the best thing that you can do, and this takes time, okay? It takes time. But finding something that is natural to you, something that you're really interested in, and making that your job can be very, very helpful. Now, you don't have to. This is another thing I'm going to say. You can have a 9 to 5 where maybe you're an assistant, maybe you're working at a desk, maybe you're doing like engineering, maybe you're being a doctor, whatever, and that's not your sole purpose in your whole life and whatever, and that's fine, by the way. But I really am talking to the people who kind of like want to do something online or need to feel some more passion and purpose and something with their job. That's totally fine if you don't want to do that. You don't have to. Your job doesn't need to be like this most fulfilling thing. At the end of the day, like I talk about other things in my life other than self-development and like glowing up into the best version of yourself. But what I realized is what comes natural to me is giving advice, is understanding the human experience. I am somebody who is so incredibly intrigued about the why of the human experience. Why do we do the things that we do? I want to know. I want to know the root. I want to know why I just did that. I want to know why that person just did that. I want to make the connections. I can't stop myself from thinking about it. So what I learned is, if I can't stop thinking about this and I can't stop talking about it, and I'm getting really good feedback from other people saying, oh my God, you not only connected the dots for me, but you're really good at this. And, I think you have a talent and all these things. Why not make that something that is going to be a career for me? If that is going to be the most natural thing to me, why not do that? So I'd highly suggest, if you are somebody who's searching online ways to make money, or, side hustles and this is not to say that you can't try things, and you might need to try them, and you might need to fail, or you might need to succeed. Maybe you'll succeed, right? And again, maybe it has nothing to do with your purpose or your passion, and that's fine. And you just make your money and you do your thing, and you do it online or you do it offline, whatever it is. But I would highly suggest you think about the things that are really natural to you, something that you have a talent or a skill in, and then to develop these skills. So maybe you're really into finances, or you're really into mental health because you've gone through certain things in your life, or there's so many things that you have learned. Maybe you're really into art. Maybe you teach all of your friends a certain subject or thing, or you're the fashionista out of your group, or you really love home decor and you're just like somebody who likes to organize and you like to make a space your own, or maybe you're really into plants and you know everything about plants, or maybe you really love animals, or maybe you're a great mom of two and you got it down, and there's just something about you that you are just amazing at being a parent, or maybe you have a really thriving marriage and you want to be that support system for other people. Maybe you've gone through certain things and you've actually gone out of it, like you've gotten out of that. Whatever it is, if you want to use some of your talents and your skills and whatever as, maybe bringing you closer to your dream life, then the best thing that you could probably do is learn how to develop the things that you're really, really good at already. And this is the thing, when we think about doing something online, even offline, but whatever it is, and we go into something, or we think we have like this little spark of like inspiration of like, oh, I want to teach people how to like take care of plants because I'm really good at that. You might need to develop certain skills about, okay, well, how do I teach people actually how to do that? Like, how do I speak online, or how do I make infographics, or how do I make a little ebook, or how do I, build an audience that really needs help with the plants? Like, what age are they? What are they really struggling with right now? Whatever it is, you kind of have to like develop the certain skills so that you can do that. And I'll give you an example, actually, is like, for me, I really wanted to talk about mental health, growing up, all the things that I've ever been through, things like that. But there are certain things that I had to kind of develop within my own interests and natural skills in a way. I had to read a lot of books. I had to do the work on myself. I had to have continuous discipline and practice, whether that be the mental health practices that I was going through, but also in general, just like being a YouTuber and learning how to edit and learning how to show up consistently, and, being a source of value and inspiration for people week after week after week. I had to practice that. It wasn't just like off the bat, I was this content creator, right? I also got really good at reading and listening and speaking. I went online and I learned how to have an engaging community online, or like how to connect with people and how to grow my social media. All of these things I had to learn and develop. So again, bringing it back to this time urgency thing, whatever it is that you are wanting to use as a way of bringing yourself closer to your dream life, understand that there's going to be things that you kind of need to develop within yourself, and that is totally fine. And also, you will develop things in your talents and your interests over time, and you're allowed to change as well. And now I think some people struggle with, oh, okay, well, if I'm really interested or passionate in this, like I can't like go online and teach people this, because why would people want to know? This is something you have to understand. There is always going to be somebody who is a younger version of you. There's always going to be somebody who is looking for the answer that you have, even if you think that nobody is. And essentially, when you're honing in on your skills and you're developing your skills or your talent, and you're just like, you're putting in the work and you're showing it online, or you're helping people, or you have a product that you're selling to people, you are essentially saving people a lot of time and bypassing a lot of years that they might actually have to go through, because you've already gone through it. So now you're sharing those tips and those results so they can kind of like bypass all that time and save a lot of time. So you want to like really think about the value that you bring to other people. And I think that a lot of times we operate in life thinking that we have no value. And obviously that's not true. We just, as a society, unfortunately, we've been taught that, the value that you bring to other people is like as hard as you can work, instead of like maybe even the information that you can give somebody, like one piece of like one little sentence I could say on my YouTube will change somebody's life forever, okay? More so than any amount of hustling and bustling that I've ever done being a server or a bartender. Not to say that that work was not helpful to other people and that I didn't play a huge part in society and that it was like not valuable at all. Obviously not, but it's just like also I could say 3 words that someone's never heard of because I've gone through the work and I've found that value or that wisdom through something, and I was able to say that to that person and it clicked for them, and they're 15 years old and now it's clicked for them. And you know, I didn't have that information at 15 years old. Now, bringing it back to the title of this episode about the realities of building your dream life, things take a lot of time. And again, I don't want to say this as a way of limiting because things could also not take a lot of time. Like things can change so much, but I find that when you actually release that need of needing something so badly and you're in scarcity a lot, and you release that, what ends up happening is things come at you like really, really, really quickly. But like for you to just think that you have to have it all figured out right now and that you need everything that you want in terms of your own dream life right this second, you're just robbing yourself of the present moment. And also like you don't need to know absolutely everything, have everything. And on top of that, you just can't, because this is what's going to happen. When you go through different chapters and phases of your life, you're going to pick up new wisdom, more knowledge. You're going to be interested in this thing. And now you're not interested in that thing, but you're interested in freaking plants now, even though you used to be interested in cooking. And now guess what? Now you can teach people about plants. Or, okay, now you're interested in cooking. Well, now you're teaching people about cooking. Or, oh my God, you just like went through this deep breakup and like now you're helping girls like, you know, thrive after breakup, whatever it is. There's so many things that you're going to go through in your life. So for you to rush this process of finding your purpose and your skill and your talent, like you don't need to, because things are going to change all the time. And I really don't think we have just like this one everlasting purpose in a way. And obviously I think that there's this innate interest in all of us that we usually will find. Maybe you haven't found that yet, and that's fine. And for me, obviously, I really am interested in psychology and human behavior and how and why we do the things that we do. But maybe there's going to be times in my life where I'm kind of just like talking about something else per se. But I do know in my core, I really always will be interested in that. That's just kind of like what I love in my life. But again, that can absolutely change, and I'm okay with that. And I think that releasing control of always having it all figured out and needing everything so incredibly badly, what you actually do is you create a lot of clarity within your own mind and your own life. And you really do let the universe bring you things that you never even imagined that you could do, or ways you could make money online or whatever. Like, I just think even like when I stopped chasing the need to have all this money right now in this certain lifestyle, and which only drove me into these like weird schemes, and I like pulled back on that, and I'm like, okay, I need to like relax. I need to like not need everything now. And then what I ended up finding was my true talent and my true wants and needs. And then I was able to make money and like build something for myself that is going to bring me a lifetime of success and happiness. And now I feel so much more at ease within my own life doing what I actually love to do. But it did take time. And this is the thing, like you can absolutely get there, but understand things do take time, and you have to build. Like building your dream life, we sometimes forget the word building. You know, when like you see like the little Bob the Builders, I'm looking down here because they're building a condo near me, but I see them every day, and the condo is not done. But they show up every day and they build and build and build. And over the past few months, this condo was rising and rising, and eventually it's going to get there, but they show up and they're building every day. And that is what you have to do when you are trying to have an end result. It's not going to come right then and there, but I feel like the more that you align and you go in the direction of what you really, really love and you back yourself, honestly, it will actually come a lot quicker and better. And I just think that, I guess the last thing that I want to say is, you live in a day and age where you could do whatever you want, online, even offline. And I know sometimes you're not raised to think that, and you know, there's negative, positive, everything online, but whatever you want to talk about, anything that you want to teach people, you really could do it, good or bad, honestly. Like there's people who are making money that I just think that are just like, it's not really good. But anyways, I'm just saying that because like you have such an opportunity in this life to do what it is that actually you're called to do. And I know it can be scary, and you need to hone in on those skills, and you need to probably develop them, and it might take time, but you can do that. And that's just something that I knew, and I had like the belief that I had before I even started doing what I was doing on social media, which allowed me to kind of like ride it out and continue to be consistent until I was able to be living my dream life. And I'm living my dream life, guys. I am. And I still have so much to do, to accomplish, and I'm okay with that. And I think the thing that makes me the most satisfied though is the work that I am doing. It's not only very aligned to me, but I'm really helping other people in life, and that is what I want to do as much as I absolutely possibly can. I can't save everyone. I can't help every single person. I don't resonate with every single person. That is totally fine, but I help a lot of people. And let's say you don't want to do what I'm doing, but again, like just bringing it back to this idea of, okay, like maybe you want to teach people about plants. You could help so many people learn how to like have their first plant, or like, learn about plants. There's so many people, I don't know why I keep using that. I'm just looking at my plant. That's why. But I even just think about my mom. Okay. I think about my mom actually. She knows so much about plants, and she knows so much about animals and stuff. I'm like, if she would just like got on TikTok and started teaching people like how to care for plants a certain way, or like how to care for, I'm saying alpacas because we used to live on a farm and we had alpacas, and she knew everything about these alpacas. And I'm like, sis, people need to know. Like, and you would go on TikTok and you type in how to care for this plant, or how to care for this alpaca, or like how to learn how to draw or paint, or how to learn how to X, Y, and Z. And people are searching for it. And if you build this audience of people who are really like not only wanting to learn something that you are really good at, but on top of that, and then you start sharing stuff about your life, you don't have to, but like stuff about your life, or you're helping people in other areas, like you build this huge community. And you having a community and you really bringing value to that community as much as you can, outside of, oh, can I make money off of them? Or, oh, can I sell them with something? And not just be a byproduct, and not in a schemy, gross way. You're going to be so much better off, I promise you, than to be like, oh my God, how do I make money off of people? Like doing something where I'm like selling them a dream, or I don't know. Best advice that I could ever give you, and something that I did, and I had to learn this the hard way first, was what can I find that I am somewhat interested in, passionate about? Maybe I have a talent, maybe I have a skill, maybe I learned something in school that I can now use online, and I can teach people how to do it. Whatever it is, how can I potentially use my own value that I hold within myself already and share it to the world in a way that is helpful for other people, instead of almost like, again, like building someone else's brand or business. But this is not to mean, of course, you're not going to work at a job and help somebody rise up to the top. Of course, I worked in that industry. I did a million other things for other people. You have to also strip your ego away. If you need to make money, you go make money. But at the end of the day, if you're like wanting more for your life, you want a business, you want wealth, you want all this stuff, then yeah, like think about what is your value and how can you potentially bring that to the world, but understand that it will take time, and that is totally fine. But understand the really good things take time, but it'll be so worth it in the end. And I'm so happy that I, really moved from that scarcity area. I stripped my ego. I worked, I hustled, I did what I needed to do. I worked in industries that I knew that I didn't want to end up in, but I was like, it's fine. I will work here and I will do what I need to do until I get to where I want to get, which is here right now. And don't give up on that dream. Don't let people tell you that you can't do what you want in your life and follow those passions. But it does take a little bit of time. It does take you honing in those skills. It does take you researching and putting in that work, and, maybe giving away your weekends and working 2 jobs at that time. It is not going to happen just overnight like that. And anyone who's selling you that dream online, being like, oh, you can make this amount of money online doing affiliate links, or like you can sell this product and you're already doing it anyways, and like this, that, or like buy this course and you can resell this course to this person. Please just have some more faith that you can actually talk and do and make money and live the life that you want to, the way you want to, instead of the way that everyone else is telling you to do. And even that goes for me. Okay. So you do what you want with that information. Allow yourself to change, allow yourself to evolve, allow yourself to rest in this unknown chapter of your life potentially, or the thoughts of like, oh my God, what am I going to do, or how am I going to make money, or what is going to be my dream job? Just practice being okay with that. And I know it can be hard, obviously, because we want to know all the answers and we want to have all this money and we want to but like, I don't know. I just think that nothing good ever came to me based out of stress. And I talked about this in last week's episode, stressing about money. Like I just didn't. And, I got to a point where I was so sick and tired of spending money on like random, like rich, quick things. I didn't do it that much, but like there were certain things that I would always like just be pulled into. And I was so sick of just like stressing and complaining, but like not doing anything, that I was like, you know what? I don't care how long it's going to take me. I'm going to pay off my debts. I'm going to save up my money. I'm going to work a second job for however long that I need to. And I'm just going to make bank, and I'm going to remind myself why I'm doing this. And I'm going to continue to search for my passion and my purpose and to do something that really aligns to me. So anyways, I hope this episode made sense in some capacity. Just understand that things do take time, and that's totally fine. There are many times when I was working on my social media and I was working 2 jobs at one point and then my social media until I left. And there were days that I just like didn't believe that things were going to happen, or I was waiting and wondering when the hell I was going to be able to leave because I didn't want to be there anymore. I was tired. I was burnt out. There were so many things I continued to have to relearn and learn again and try again. And, self-doubt, there's all those things that come up. But I think that's just like a normal part of life. It doesn't mean that you're failing, and it doesn't mean that you can't live out this dream life where you make money doing what you want in your life just because things are hard. Like things are going to be hard. I had this conversation with my friend last night. Like we don't just like, who said that life was supposed to be so fucking easy, and this is not to say that we want life to be hard, but I think I just have like this toughness going through so much in my life. And the reason why I say that too is because the things that I went through in my life, a lot of them, they really did shape who I am today. And I've learned so much from those hardships in my life. And I've been able to readjust by looking at the things that happened in my life as lessons instead of things as like, oh my God, this is happening to me and I can never change, or this can never change, whatever. Like even when I did the Amazon thing and I realized, okay, first of all, holy fuck, I just like fell into this rabbit hole of like scarcity, making money online type of thing. And I was also like, wow, I spent so much money doing this. Obviously I was pissed off at myself, but then I was like, okay, you know what? No, I'm learning something so big from this. And this is just not how I'm going to make money online. And if I want to make money online, right? Or, find a living or find what it is that I want to do with my life in terms of my job. But if I didn't look at that as a lesson, if I didn't look at that as like, oh my gosh, okay, wait, what is going on here? I might have continued to fall into more things or stayed there and just kind of looked at life like, yep, see, I can't do anything. Like I can't succeed in any other area because I failed in this area. It's just like, no, I made a decision based off of being in scarcity, and I learned why I was brought to that situation to begin with, why I was so susceptible to these type of schemes. But understand that with time and adjusting and readjusting and trying, and not telling yourself like you're such a failure if you made a bad financial decision or you started something and you realize that you don't like it anymore, or you want to change, whatever. Allow yourself to readjust and trust that things will work out if you continue to go in the direction of your desires, which can be very, very scary. But I feel like we live in a day and age where there's so many resources, there's so many amazing, people online you can learn from who probably aren't just trying to make money off of you. And also, this is not to say that like when people sell like products or courses or whatever, that's like a scheme or whatever. Like obviously, if you listen to one of your favorite podcasters or YouTubers and they talk about a product that you really want, that's totally fine. Or like they have a course that they're selling, that's totally fine. Like maybe that teaches you something. I've spent so much money on courses that helped me in so many ways. I've gotten so many things off of people online where I was just like influenced that like helped me. That's totally fine, right? But it's like it's the ones where it creates a lot of anxiety within you, and I think that we all actually kind of know when it's too good to be true. So anyways, my rant is over. Sorry if I offended anyone who is in an MLM or adjacent, but that's my thoughts on that. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Hopefully it could just inspire you to just know that you're like totally fine where you are right now, even if it feels like you're not, and things do always get better. There's always light at the end of the tunnel. And I'm excited for the episodes to come, talking a lot about health and fitness. I'm super, super into my health and fitness. Well, I don't know why I always say this. Every time I talk about health and fitness, I'm like, I'm in my health and fitness era. Like I literally am always in it. Don't know. I don't know. I've learned a lot though. I've been the healthiest I've ever been, honestly, this year. So I definitely want to talk more about that. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.